Alright, people, so since they were talking about this, going to the Edge and Christian show that totally reeks of awesomeness, go and watch it. I decided to go and watch it. You know, they were advertising a lot, so I watched the first episode. That had to be one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I mean, talk about PG comedy. That was terrible. Of course, it first starts out with potty humor. You know, you got Christian or somebody has to take a shit. So, we're going to go in Vince McMahon's office and take a shit. Oh, we're going to use his bathroom. It's so funny. And then they find a remote that magically makes people appear. I mean, you got to be shitting me. That's like fucking PG comedy you would expect to see in Dora the Explorer. I mean, this is, Teletubbies. Fucking Sesame Street. I mean, this is the comedy the show is aligned with. I mean, it's so sad. You take a look at this company, look back at some of the shit that went on 16, 15 years ago during the Attitude Era. Maybe a little bit longer, 20 years ago, whatever. During the Attitude Era. And you compare it to the comedy you see now, it's like a complete 360 or whatever, 180, whatever the fuck the expression is. I mean, it's off. I don't think I laughed one time during the 30-minute episode. I mean, this is the epitome of comedy for kids. I mean, this just cements that WWE is totally appealing towards kids. And I don't know why they're doing this, because if you look at the WWE network, I don't imagine that you have a lot of 9-year-old kids subscribed to the WWE network. I just don't see 9-year-olds going on a fucking iPhone or iPad and watching wrestling. I don't know. I might be wrong on that, but I don't see it happening. I don't see a lot of parents maybe, paying $10 a month for their kids to see, wrestling. Because when I was a younger kid, like 10, 11 years old, I didn't watch the pay-per-views. I mostly imagine people like me watching the network and shit like that. Yeah, it's aimed towards 9-year-olds. So I don't, I'm totally dumbfounded at what they're trying to do here. It's almost like they're trying to fuck up their own company for some reason. It's like Vince can never please the hardcore wrestling fans, the fans that made him great back in the day, the fans that made him money back in the day. He wants to, piss on their, he wants to fuck them over now. It's so confusing. It's like whatever the fucking crowd wants, whatever the people of the IWC want. Some of the people in wrestling, who are employed by WWE act like the IWC is some awful thing. Sometimes, I see Joey Styles talking about it and shit, and how bad the IWC is for having an opinion and hate. They just always hate everything we do because they want. No, it's not that. You see that's so wrong when they say, the IWC hates everything that WWE does. That's not true. Look at Daniel Bryan. Everybody loved Daniel Bryan. You didn't hate that. So don't go out there and say, they're just using that as an excuse. Shut the fuck up with that. So this Edge and Christian show totally reeks of shit. It's awful. It's one of the worst shows I've ever seen. It's not even funny to the least bit. I mean, like I said, SpongeBob is 10 times funnier than this. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why Edge and Christian are even doing this show, because it's not even funny to the least bit. And I saw Mick Foley tweeting out, it's so funny. It's so... really? A guy who was the epitome of the Attitude Era is saying this is funny? I mean, I don't get why though, but all these former WWE superstars seem to always, they never say anything bad about WWE. They always say, it's so great, everything's great. The Big Show is just a great wrestler. Roman Reigns is a great promo. I just don't get why nobody has the balls to bash this company who has worked for this company. Just bash the fucking company. It's awful. It's not funny. So that's all I gotta say. I mean, do you agree with me if somebody watched that? Do you agree that show was awful? It sucked. It wasn't funny at all. It was, I was bored to tears. It was awful. But that's all I gotta say about that. There's your fucking review of the Edge and Christian show, and I will never be watching another episode of that bullshit ever again. So there you go. Show sucked.